Are you looking for a real life data analytics project that you can put on your resume? Or maybe you are from a different domain such as HR, sales and marketing and you want to move to data analyst career? Well, good news. With this video, I'm starting a series of data analytics project where we will take a real life use case and a real data set. We are not going to use any toy data set such as Titanic or Iris Flower. In these projects, we will be using a real life data set and we will implement dashboards in Power BI. Hemanand Vadivel, who is a data analytics manager with many years of experience in Power BI, will be helping me in this project series. We will build amazing dashboards. We will share you how a data analyst thinks, and these projects will help you learn data analytics and Power BI, plus it will build a solid resume portfolio for you. In this particular video, we have invited Pinali Mandalia from AtliQ Technologies, which is a software and data solution company. I happen to be one of the co-founders of this company, and she will share employee presence data. Now, as you can see in the screen here, we have data from 3 months, and in the columns we have the dates and in the rows we have employee names. Now, as you can see, the employee names are randomized. So these are fake employee names, but the data is real. Okay, so we have randomized the employee IDs and employee names, but the data it's a real data set. You can also see attendance key codes. So there are codes like PL means paid leave, SL means sick leaves, and these codes are present in the cells in the Excel file. And Pinali generally consumes this file just to get answers on her HR related queries. We are going to help her build a data analytics dashboard in Power BI. So in the section that follows, what you will see is Pinali, me and Hemanand will be on the call. Pinali will present her requirements. Hemanand will build the dashboard. I will also be present in the call as an AtliQ founder, and both me and Pinali are kind of stakeholders or clients for Hemanand, and Hemanand will build this dashboard in real time. Check video description. We are going to provide all the resources including Excel file, PBIX file, everything to you. So make sure you check the video description. Let's get started. In this session, we are using the Excel sheet provided by HR manager Pinali and trying to understand their requirements. As a data analyst, it is critical for you to listen more than you talk in this particular stage of the project. This is the stage where you also keep the client completely engaged by asking them the right questions. Also, this is your opportunity to become their strategic partner rather than one-off solution provider. Ask questions to understand their short and long-term plans and align your solutions accordingly. Now, you might be wondering, where do I learn this skill of asking right questions? Don't worry, we are going to cover all of that in today's video.
So what I understand from the data is that you have just the current fiscal year, like your fiscal year, which is starting from April to
June. March. Yeah.
Okay. So you have this 3 months of data, and you want to combine this 3 months of data together to see the insights, which you said like you want to understand. So can you? I saw your email. Can you please kind of explain me what insights you would like to see from this data?
Sure. So first of all, I want to understand the working preference of people. Between work from home and work from office.
Okay.
Yeah. So if they are taking frequent work from home, either on Monday or the Friday, then what could be the reason behind that?
Okay. So basically you have this attendance key. So in that, work from home is denoted as
WFH.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, and we also have half work from home, which means like people work from home for half a day. Okay.
Yes.
So we need to consider this, and Okay.
Yeah.
And you said you want to understand the presence of people, like how much percentage of people are present on a given week or a given month, basically attendance, right? Like attendance of the people. Okay.
Yes.
And
because sometimes it happens that if people have joined the office, but suddenly they are not feeling well and they are leaving, and they said that I'll be working from home the rest day. So we have to figure out this thing.
Okay. So
also,
I understand.
As an owner of AtliQ, I also look at these insights, and I have a frequent conversation with Pinali on this. Let's say if people are working from home, if their preference is Monday or Friday, it could be either towards the end or beginning of the week, or it could be in the middle of the week. So, so if we get some insights from that, then maybe when we are planning some team building activity or team lunch, we will do it on a day where majority of the people are present in the company.
Okay.
Right.
The other benefit of knowing this is, let's say if we go in a hybrid model where people work from home on 2 days, then they are available on 3 days, then we can do better capacity planning. We can have few people coming in the office, and we give laptop to everyone at AtliQ. So we don't need to have so much rental space. We can do better utilization of the space and save our cost on infrastructure.
Okay, that makes sense.
So,
all right. And do you also want any particular insights from any other things here? Like, for example, maybe
if people are taking sick leave, that we want to understand the reason, because it might be an indication of COVID, then we have to take some precautions, right? So
yes. So sorry, I was just taking notes. Yeah, please go ahead.
No, that's fine. So it can be better if we can get the insights, like the reason they are taking sick leave, so we can take better plans.
Okay, so you want to understand on a given day, if let's say 15% of your employees or 10% of your employees are taking sick leave, which is a clear indication that like something is not good, because it cannot be a coincidence if too many people take sick leave on the same day.
Exactly.
Okay.
And COVID is just a special situation, but we have seen often there are seasonal flus, there are chikungunya, like little pandemics, little epidemics where many people in the town are infected because of like dengue, and if we can find the patterns, we can enable better sanitization or take special measures. I mean, we generally have good sanitization infrastructure in the company, but we can take special precautions, special measures. I've seen here in US in companies, they have doctors coming in, they give flu shots before fall season. So maybe we can do those kind of activities if we have good insights on number of people being sick on given period of the time in a year.
Okay, great. Yeah, maybe the other reason is there is a cricket match or something like that. You never know.
If you can, if you can include that analytics, link it with cricket schedule, that would be pretty interesting analytics to watch for.
I know. We have people with high integrity in AtliQ, so just kidding.
Yes.
All right. So my first question is, like, ideally, Pinali, this should be this should be available in a system, right? Because Excel is okay, we can do it in Excel. I can show you how to do it in Excel, but I know that this is what you explained in the email. You told that you are planning to migrate to a new system.
Yes.
When that's going to happen?
I think by next month.
Okay. All right. So the reason why I'm asking that question is that I can kind of create the database in a very similar pattern. That will match with your new system. So you don't have to make a lot of changes, because my intention is, like, whatever we are going to do now, you can do it on your own.
Exactly. I want to learn this stuff so I can do it my own. I don't need to ask you every time.
Yeah.
Right.
You can. I know this can become very powerful tool for you once you learn how to crunch data. not at a very advanced level that you can develop, gradually. But I think with sessions like 2 or 3 sessions like this, and if you take some time to practice on your own, I'm pretty sure that you will start doing things on your own. This is something I've seen with people, that I work with, my friends. Once they learn the basics and they practice, they become more powerful in their work. Like I've known some warehouse managers, HR people as well. They start doing stuff on their own. So great. I'm going to open Power BI now, and let's see how we can import this data. And so initially we're going to clean the data and understand, like how we can shape the data for the insights that you want. So whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to keep the insights that you want in the mind, and I'm going to build the database accordingly. So this is a database now, which is, even though it's coming from Excel, this is going to be a database. All right. So we'll start doing that.
In this section, you will learn how to gather and transform data using Power Query. Power Query is a feature within Power BI that helps you collect and transform data. We have our data in Excel and multiple sheets with different column headers, and it's a special case that you will see how the data analyst, Googles the solution. You will also see the kind of challenges a data analyst may face in real time and how they approach those problems. Are you excited? Download the Excel file provided in the description to practice along. You will also need to install a desktop version of Power BI from Microsoft Store, which is free. Have fun learning.
So in order to, let's start with importing the Excel workbook now. And and I will also, give you an idea on how you can automate. Like, you don't have to update the Excel. You don't have to refresh the Power BI on a daily basis. We can talk about it at the end of the end of the session. I just clicked open data now. Before going further, I want to understand that how I can combine the Excel data together. See, if I combine this Excel data together, so what will happen is, so all these Excel files, will add next to each other. But have you noticed there is something really we need to care about? If I add this data, so what will happen is, like, the April data will be in the top, and below the April data, you will have the May data, right?
Okay, right.
And below May, you will have the June data. So that's the format we need. But the funny thing is that if you do like that, so all your April data will still have the date as all your May data will still have the date as April. Because if you're adding below, the headers are still going to be the same, right?
Right,
right. Yeah, it's like just copying this data and putting it here. Like, if I put this data here, yes, you will have the May data, but it will still say your column will still say as 1st of April, 2nd of April. And the same thing goes with June. So that is the easy way to add the Excel files together, but that works if all your sheets have the same column names. So I want to do something. I want to think about a different solution, which I honestly don't know. I need to Google it. I need to Google a solution which will help me combine the data from, let's say, multiple sheets that has different column names. So let's kind of do a quick Googling together. Combining data from different sheets in Power BI. So I'm just going to type this.
Okay.
Normally what I do is, like, I open the first result to see how it looks. So this helps me. Okay. Okay. As I understand from this document, you can see that it is talking about, like, having same column names. Like in sheet 1 also the column name is same, in sheet 2 also the column name is same. This is not going to help us. So I'm going back to my results. Okay. So let me check this one. Combining data from multiple worksheets in the same Excel. And let's see what this has for us.
Product.
Okay. I think this is good, right? See, in the first sheet, they have January, February, March, and here they have April, May, and June. This is exactly what we need. Here they have months, and we have what we need is days. So which is exactly the same, very similar. So we can go with this solution. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep this on my left screen. I have another screen in my computer. So I'm going to just look at the stuff. I will explain you the steps, and I will also send the link to this blog, which I'm going to use to create this Power Query. So you can try it out yourself. So, but right now I'll do it and show you what I'm doing. So, all right. Okay. So basically they're saying like, don't select any data and simply load the data for transformation.
Okay.
So when you right click here and you say transform data, you get that option.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I click transform data, do you see a new window that opened up right now?
Yes. We see that.
So this is called Power Query Editor. So this is like a data engineering side of Power BI, where you can transform data, clean the data, and it's a data preparation feature in Power BI. So let's say that you have like, let's say you have like a set of employees which are not the part of AtliQ that you want to consider, but they are still in the Excel file. You want to take out these employees and analyze separately. You can do that. Let's say you have entered, by mistake, you have entered something wrong in the Excel file and you want to change that here. You can change it. There could be some reason why you could not change it in the Excel file, because that is for display. Some people are watching it, are looking at that, but you want to change in the Power Query, you can change that. So all these things you can do in Power Query. So any questions you have on until now? Importing the data so far?
No.
It's clear.
It's clear. Yeah.
Right. So, just to give you a quick idea. So since you have exported this data, so when you just click on the table, you see, we get the same data what you have in Excel. Exactly the same data. Right. And so you click the May, you see the May data, you see the dates, right? These are May dates. You click the attendance key and we get all of that. Right. So for my consideration, for my purpose, I think, so I forgot I need to read the blog. Okay. So they have the list of sheets. Okay, so what they are asking us to do now is to kind of create a template. So my idea is, see, here we have the data, correct? Like I'm taking one sheet here. So we have the January data. I don't think this is in the right format because the column names are not correct. So we need the column names, one step above, one row above. And I also need to see all the dates in one column. So currently you see every date is in one separate column, but I want all of them in one column. So it becomes easier for my, data appending. I want to append all the data. So if it is all in one column, I will have one date column. In that one date column, I will have all the dates, right? That will be rather easier.
Right.
Then, so what I'm trying to say, let me open an Excel file and explain. So let's say, so if I have like,
can you increase the font size?
Yes, sure.
Control scroll.
Is better?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have April 1, 2022. So this is how your April data looks, correct?
Right.
Okay. And then your May data looks something like that. So you have okay. So if I just add them, it won't work. That's the reason why we're doing why we are combining the data in a different way, which is going to look like this. So I will have, instead of having this in each column, I will have one date column, which is going to contain all the dates like this.
Okay, in just one column.
Yeah. Like one column here.
Okay.
right? And the same goes here. So, and then I will add this data to below this one.
Okay.
So that's the idea. That's what we are going to do.
Okay, so we'll keep all the dates in just one column, April, May, and June.
Yes. All right. So according to the blog, I need to duplicate this query and create a template.
Okay.
Because the idea is, I will not do the transformation in all the pages. Let's say that next month you're going to add a new sheet, right? Which is going to be April. So I cannot make the transformation for that new sheet. So whatever transformation I make now, that should be also applicable for the new sheet. So when you add July, August, September, it should work. That's the purpose. That is the reason why we are creating a template. So we are creating a transformation in a template, and we are saying for all the sheets, apply the same transformation.
Okay.
It's like say that I'm making one change in one particular sheet, and I'm instructing Power BI, please copy it across all the sheets. So it makes your job easier. Whenever there is a new sheet, it copies the same formatting, data transformation, data cleaning, and all the things. Okay. And I think you will agree we don't need this data here because it's for it's for reference purpose, but we don't need this
for internal purpose. Yeah.
Yes. And so I'm taking that out. And so we need to keep only the this particular data table, and we remove all of them because this is the table, this is the particular column in which we have all the data.
Okay.
So Spinal, tell me until this if it is clear, or I'm happy to explain again.
No, it's clear. It's clear.
Okay.
Pretty much clear. Yeah.
All right, great. So what I'm going to do now. So before this step, since I'm going to use only one particular, let's say one particular sheet, I will select any one sheet. So let's say that I'm selecting April, right?
Okay.
Just because I'm going to apply the transformation in that one sheet, and it's going to be replicated across all the sheets. That's the goal. Okay. And I'm going to expand this sheet.
Okay.
So this is exactly your Excel file. This is your April sheet Excel file. Can you relate to that? So we can do a quick check.
Yes.
Right. So if you go to the April, you see this.
It's the same.
It's exactly the same. Yes. The only difference is that since this is not a table, this is a sheet. It has auto-aligned a column 1, column 2. It has auto-aligned that. So we can fix that now. That is the only change you will see. Otherwise, it's exactly the same. Okay.
Yes.
So this article, the blog which I'm reading, okay, what they say. Okay, they say that we need to delete this change type step. I will tell you why. Because here, if you see the change type step, we are using the column names for the sheet, right? So if I apply these transformations, if I apply this transformation to the other sheets, it will try to refer to the column names. It will try to find the same column name, which is not in our case because our column names are going to be different. In April sheet, you will have April 1, April 2, April 3. In May sheet, you will have May 1, May 2, May 3. So there should not be any reference to the column names. So that's the reason why the article, in article Chris Webb's BI blog, it's saying to delete this change type step. So that's the reason why I'm deleting it. So, some of the concepts might be alien to you. Do not worry about it. Just try to understand things at the top level. And I'm pretty sure, once you practice it on your own, you will get it. Because if I'm sitting on the other end, I'm listening to this for the first time, probably I would not understand 100%. But I think, it's just like a osmosis process. You take the information, you go back and you maybe, watch the video again, you get it better. All right. So probably this you will understand very easily. So what I'm going to do, I'm saying, see, this is very intuitive. I'm selecting the table. I'm saying use the first row as it is because I want this as my header, column header.
Okay.
So I'm selecting here and saying first row as it is. Okay. And I don't want this. I want this gone. this first row is not serving any purpose to me. I want this gone.
Right.
So I'm going to say, again, remove the top rows. And I'm going to say first row, remove the first row.
First row.
Okay. Good. And I need to change the column name slightly. So this is not this. I think this should be employee code, correct?
Right. Employee code.
And this should be name.
Names.
So what's happening now? What you're trying to build again? Just to reiterate, whatever we are building for the sheet, this transformation will be applied across all the sheets in your Excel sheet, in your Excel file. And you don't have to do this again for May or do this again for June. This will be auto applied. That is what we are trying to do. We have not achieved that yet. We'll hopefully get there. And so, like I said, Pinali, apart from these two columns, everything else is a date, correct? As you could see.
Yes.
Everything else is a date. And so what I will do, I want these dates to be in one particular column, one column. There is an option for that in Power BI. So when you select, like if you look at the options in the top, so what I'm going to do now is a transformation, correct? I'm going to transform a data. I'm going to transform the table. Yes. Under the transform option, I'm going to just glance at what options they have available. And I'm going to select something that kind of suits to me verbally, like verbally what I want to do. So we just discussed about the concept of transpose, which means changing the rows to column. Okay, and which is exactly the same here. It's called unpivot, correct? Which is it's exactly the same word. So what under unpivot columns, we have three options: unpivot columns, unpivot other columns, and pivot only selected columns. So I will select these two columns and say unpivot other columns, which means keep these two columns like how it is and unpivot all the other columns.
Okay.
So bring them to one column. That's unpivoting.
Right.
If I click this, you will see exactly what we need. We have got all these dates under one column.
Okay.
And we have got this as values. For example, this Thanos Thakur on 1st of April is present.
So we'll get the individual data here.
Yeah, it's the same data. So if you go to the previous step, you can see it's the same data. Just the format in which you view is different.
Right.
Initially, you had like you will have only one name and you will have multiple columns on the dates. So now what will happen is you will have the same, you will have multiple names, but you will have one column for the date. It's just a different way of viewing data.
Right.
Okay. So, and then I want to change this to a date. I'm changing this to a date, and this can be value, and I'm going to change this to a text. But you know what? This is currently in the okay. Oh, I didn't notice that we had this. I thought we only had dates in the sheet. Let me look into the sheet. Okay. Oh, okay. After the dates, you also have this kind of some insights, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Got it. So we don't need this. So what I will do, I can remove this. Okay. So you can simply, how you select in Excel, you can simply open this and, you can simply deselect it. Right?
Yeah.
You can simply deselect it and it will remove it. But what happens if you add a new column, right? So you have to come to this place again and then deselect it again. So we have to think of doing something dynamic. So, the whole purpose of doing this exercise is automation. So you don't have to, think about, what happens if I add a new column? What happens if some user does this and that?
Right.
So I need to think of a dynamic solution now, like automatic solution now. I mean, there could be many solutions, but the one that comes to my mind immediately is that I'll make this as a date field, right? So if I make this as a date field, automatically all these text values will become errors. Correct?
Okay, correct.
They are not dates, because holidays off cannot be a date. So it says this is an error. So then what I will say, I will right click on this column and then I will say remove the errors.
Okay. Right.
Which means in future, if I'm getting a text value, it will be automatically removed. That's exactly what we want.
Okay.
I mean, right now I think this solution will work. So if something changes, we can think about it. Okay, so I'm going back to the blog now. So in the blog, it's explained after we do our transformation, we need to do something else. Okay, let me check. Okay, we need to create a parameter now. And parameter, think about something like, so let's say I'm saying every month I need a particular day. So parameter is a way of filtering that particular day, and this can be dynamic. That parameter can change. Today this is April, tomorrow that will be January, and day after tomorrow, it can, the next month it can be completely different. So that's a parameter, right? It's like the way you limit the data, the way you filter the data, and a parameter is a dynamic way of doing that. So I'm gonna go to manage parameters. There is an option, and I select new parameter. And I'm simply following the blog. It says to create something called worksheet and keep the text. And the current value is, so the current value should be the value of the sheet that we selected. So I forgot the value, name of the sheet. So it's April 22, APR 2022.
Okay.
Okay. So just to be clear, Pinali, if you had sheets with same names, it would have been something that we could have done in like 1 minute. Since it has different header names, we are doing all this transformation. It's a good use case, right? This is a genuine use case.
Right.
Okay. All right. And what they say after that is to, okay. See, here we are doing some hard filtering, correct? We are doing some hard filtering, like, oh, filter this April 2022. So this is where we are going to use a parameter now.
Okay.
We're going to use, instead of saying directly filter April 22, select it based on the parameter.
Worksheet.
Which is the worksheet parameter. So now take a step back and just think about all the steps that we have done, right? So what we have done, we have imported this data, right? We have imported the April data. We promoted the headers, and we did the pivoting. So basically, we did some transformation steps to the data. So now I want this transformation to be applied across all the, all the sheets.
Yeah.
So I need to create this as a function. Let's say that if I'm trying to explain it in a very simple terms, let's say that you add number 5 to a particular sheet, to a particular sheet's data, and you want to add number 5 to all the sheets, right? So you need to create that number 5 as a function. So this function can be replicated across all the entities that you have, all the sheets that you have.
Right.
So what we're going to do now is something nice, something interesting. So you can create this entire query, whatever transformations you have done, as a old function. So this becomes a new function now. So Dhaval, you have a easier way to explain this, do you think?
Yeah, basically it's like a template we have created. So it's like a process, number of steps that we are applying on this sheet. We can apply the same thing on a different sheet. So we have kind of encapsulated all the steps into one entity. And when you design it as a function, you can just apply the same function on other sheets as well. So basically you don't have to repeat. It's just a reusability of our code.
Yes, exactly. Reusability of the code. That's the right word. That's the word I was looking for. Okay. So, so we have got the function. So you see basically what we have in the function is exactly the transformations that we did. So if you have to type all this code, I've never done it. So we're lucky that we have to do this click and drop buttons and get this done. Okay. So now I'm going to the original sheet, which we have. This is the original sheet. And like I said, we don't need this attendance key. I'm taking this out.
Yeah.
So what I want to do now is I'm going to check this one. Okay. So they're basically saying add this function as a column, right? Like a new column. So if you go to add column, invoke the custom function. So we have created a custom function. We're going to invoke it. Invoke means like we are going to activate it. Call this get data. And also call this is the function. So you see the function name is get data. So you have it available here. That's exactly what you get. And you press OK. Okay. So we get errors. That's really funny. Okay. Why do we get errors? We have got the April data and we're not getting the, okay. So you see what happened here? It's trying to reference a column. This function is trying to reference a column.
Okay.
The block clearly said, delete all the steps which tries to reference a column, because it should not reference a column, which means that it will try to look for that particular column in the May data. So if it is trying to look for 1st of April in the May data, of course it won't find it. There is no 1st of April in the May data. So I'm going to go to my template and check where I have referenced the column. Okay, you see this step, this particular step, this change type step, it's referencing all these column names. Yeah, this block says in block letters to delete it. I forgot to delete it. That's my bad. So I will delete this step and hopefully it will be good. Let me check. Okay, you see now you get the data.
Yes.
You see, it's all the data is available here. I think we are almost done. So let's expand the data here. So you remember these are the 4 columns that we have: employee code, name, date, and value. So we have the exact 4 columns. I'm just going to expand this and I will delete all the rest. I don't need all of them. Maybe I will keep this item because this will tell me the sheet name, which sheet the data is coming from, just for my reference. So I will delete this, and this. Yeah. So I selected this using control and I selected remove columns. And so this I'll change the sheet name. And this is employee code and text. And this will be just the name. So I would first change the names and rename the types. I will first rename the columns and then change the type together so you don't create multiple steps.
Okay.
And so I'm changing this to date. Changing this to text.
Text.
This is text again. Okay.
Yes.
I think this sheet looks clean. Before loading this to the Power BI where we can create the visualizations, I want to double check if everything is good. So right now I've selected June. Okay, I see only the June data.
Right.
Okay. I want to check something randomly. So let's take in the case of Loki Lal. Okay, Loki Lal, 10th of June.
Present.
Loki Lal is present.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Excel file. Not this one. This is 10th of June. And Loki Lal.
Loki Lal, yeah.
So okay is present. So that data is correct. So likewise, you can do some multiple checks to ensure your data is correct, because you can randomly check the data just to ensure that everything is correct, everything is flowing through right. And so this is one level of checking. Of course, you will also check it again once it goes into the final visualizations and things like that. So what I'm going to do now, so to me the data looks clean, and I'm going to clear the filter. and also check once, because I know I applied the transformation only for April. I want to check how the May looks. Now, right now, I check June. I will also check how the May looks. Okay, May is also looking fine. Okay, why do we not have 1st of May? Okay, let me check
Oh,
the sheet.
yes. Because I guess the month is
okay.
from
You don't have
2nd
1st of May in the sheet
Yeah.
itself.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay,
it was
that's fine.
Sunday or something. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good point.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. If it's not in the sheet, it's not there. That's not the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, you can add it in the sheet, of course, and then it will reflect here. Okay, it looks good. I like what I see. And see, and before loading the data, see what we are going to do now. I'm going to load the data to the file now, to the Power BI. And I will not load all the data. I will just load only what I need. So I'm going to disable the load for this template. I don't need the template. I've disabled the load. And this one does not look correct, the name. I will change this to something like combined data or something. Or let me call it final data.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let me press load. And so it's going to load the final data here.
Yeah, it's something interesting.
Yeah. So, so right now what we did, we basically have like this cumbersome Excel files, like in 3 different sheets and all those things. And we got it into one usable format, right? Which is this one. You can go to the final data. Okay. You see that sheet name is, this is not necessary. I just kept it for, just for reference purpose. Basically, you just need these 4 columns, and you have it in one particular format. All the dates are here. So now this is very easy for Power BI. So whenever you have dates in multiple columns, try to bring them in one column. Then it becomes very easy for Power BI to to do the transformation, to do the formulas and all those things. If just imagine if you had it in multiple columns, you need to create like one formula for each day, and you have to combine them together. That is humanly not possible. We need to bring all the date values to one column. Whenever you see date values in multiple columns, just remember this, you need to bring them in one column. This is something you can do as a reflex. Okay. Dates in multiple columns will not work. It won't work. You will understand that more when you practice. But just for now, this is the takeaway I think you should think.
I hope you learned how to import and transform data in Excel. There are few takeaways from this session. Googling your solution is one of the most important skills. Whenever you are trying to transform data, think of a dynamic way to do it so it works with new data as well. Take a break to reflect and digest the concepts if you feel overwhelmed. Are you ready to step up to the next level? See you in the next session. In this session, we will learn how to create metrics. What are metrics? They are nothing but a quantitative assessment which will help us make decisions. If you remember Pinali's shopping cart, it had 3 items. Number 1, working preference of people between work from home and working from office. Number 2, percentage of overall sick leave to understand to monitor employee wellness. And the third one was learning Power BI basics through this project. See, I think she's already doing that just like you. The first 2 items in her shopping cart are nothing but metrics, also called as measures in the Power BI context. The first metric you will learn to create is the percentage of work from home. The second one is the percentage of sick leave. But there are more. You will see that during the process how a data analyst can add more value by helping the stakeholders to discover more metrics.
All right. So since we got the data in the table now, we're going to create the measures that we want to see in the dashboard. Okay, I would recommend to keep the measures in a separate table. So I'm going to call this like a measure table.
Just to summarize, Heman, click on that enter data button on the home tab, and he's just entering the data manually.
Yeah.
Okay.
So first of all, I want to, the whole thing is revolving around the fact it's about a percentage. So where we have the ratio to the total working days, the number of present days versus total working days, number of absent days versus total working days, number of work from home versus present days. So the first thing I need to know is the total working days. So I'm going to create a new measure. And the total working days should be I think, count. It should be the count of all the values, right? Basically, all the things you have in the value. But if I simply do the count, I think it is just giving the total days. But I think we need to take out the weekly off, holiday off from this. So apart from this, everything is a working day. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my Power BI. I'm going to make this total days. This is total days. I'm going to create a variable. I'm calling this as a variable. And I'm creating a second variable, which is like non-working days. Non-work days. And so this is again going to be the count of the values. But in this, we need to remove
Can you increase the font size, Heman, and maybe controls scroll up?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I'm just finding the non-work days, which is I forgot it again. What is the code? It's WO and HO. Okay. So this formula basically is saying count only the values which has WO and HO. And so finally, when you're working on this stuff like this, you need to understand how the calculate function works. That's very important. Like if you understand how the calculate function works, you can do 80% of your work.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to return the final value, which is going to be total days minus non-work days.
So folks, that line number 5, can you open that again? So line number 5 is more like SQL's where query, where you're saying, get me count of final data value, where final data is either WO or HO. It is, if you know SQL a little bit, it is sort of like that. That inner portion is like SQL where query.
Yes, that's right. Okay. So if you just drag this, all you have to do is like just drag it to the canvas here, and it will try to build a measure. So you have the total working days, which means the total working days for all the employees in this 4 months. Right? It's like the total sum. And from the total working days, I want to understand what do we need to do. I think we need to understand the present days, the number of days the people are present. Correct?
Yes.
So I'm going to call it present days. And this is going to be quite simple. Use the same formula that we used before. Calculate the count of value. But I want the values only in. I think I saw it's P, right? Present days is P, correct?
Yes, P.
Okay. Okay, let me think about it. So if I add the present days, so we also have work from home days, right? Work from home is considered as present.
Yes.
Okay, and we also have half work from home.
Yes. If the employee is doing half day work from home, that's all.
Yeah.
That's all considered in present.
Yeah. So I cannot use this formula because it will consider half work from home also as one. It's not the full working day. So we need to do something different. Let me do it. So, but let me just add it as a,
But Hemant, you're trying to do present versus not present. So our definition of present is even if person is working half at home, half in the office.
Yes.
For that day, the person is present. So present, yes.
Fully present.
One, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's say if they are working only half work from home, right? And let's say if they take half sick leave.
Okay.
So that is like half day present, right?
Half day present.
So we
that
need
is
to
half day present.
Like
yes.
Yeah. So if I just add it here, it will consider as full day present. So I have to be very clear in saying that just give me, just calculate the present days where the value is equal to P. But this formula is not complete. We also need to add the work from home days to this. Present days. Okay. So since so if I use the same approach here, so what it does is like it counts each value as 1. So if there is P, it is 1. If there is a second P, there is 2. If I use the same approach here, there is no way to say here, like if there is half work from home, calculate this as half. We can do this in DAX, but it will become very complex. So if we can do this in a DAX measure, but it will become very complex. So what I will do is like, I'm thinking to create it directly in this table. I think that will be easier for me. I go to the final data table. I will create it here. So here I can easily say if it is work from home, write 1. If it is half work from home, write 0.5. Then as a column, to me to summarize, to me to do the summation on that column, it will be easier. So I'm going to create a new column saying here and call this work from home count. And this is going to be, I can use a simple if statement. If value if this value is equal to P, if this value is equal to work from home, then it's 1. Okay, so this is why I prefer to use switch statement, because I don't like writing multiple ifs. So I will rather write a switch statement. So which is a good alternative to if. And if it is half work from home, should be 0.5. And for all the rest of the values, let's have 0. Is it correct by definition? Should we do this?
Yes. Yes.
So you can see for present, it's not considered as work from home, so it's 0.
Okay.
Right? But when you see, let's do a quick check if my formula is working correct. So when I have half work from home, yeah, you can see it's 0.5.
Okay.
And when I have work from home, it will be 1. Perfect. That's what I need. So I'm going to create a new measure here, calling work from home. So now this is an easy measure. All you have to do is like just make a sum of the work from home count column. And like I said, I need to adjust my present days formula. And just adding, or I don't need to create a variable. Since I already created a measure, I don't need the variable. I'm simply adding the work from home count here. Okay, so I'm just putting the present days here. So this kind of looks correct because, of course, your present days should be less than your working days, which looks quite correct to me. And I already have the first thing that you want, which is do you want to call it presence percentage?
Yeah,
This should be, nothing but your present days divided by total working days. And since this is a percentage, I'm making this a percentage. So you can think this as an Excel formula, how you write an Excel formula, like sum, max, and all those things. You just have to learn the basic functions. It will help you. So once you practice this on your own, you will have a better understanding. So this is our overall, presence percentage that we have got. And to kind of visualize things better, I'm going to add this slicer and drop the date column. So this is a date column. Okay, this is the reason. So you see that we have all these days, date as days, like each day. So I cannot select, I can select for each day, but let's say I want it as a month. Right? So I'm going to create a new column here as a date month. So I'm going to call this format date value. I'm going to say start of the month, date value. So this kind of gives me the start of the month. And I just go to the format here and say MMMYY. So I get this like short format. So instead of dropping the date now, I'll drop the month. Okay. Then you can change it to horizontal, so you can have it like this. So you can select now for April and then see the presence percentage. You can select for May and see the presence percentage, and then the June. So this forms, the basic measures that we will use. And I think the next step is to build a dashboard out of this, and we can build some measures on the fly because we have got the basic measures, and we can build some measures on the fly as needed for the dashboard.
I hope you had a good introduction to creating DAX measures in Power BI. There are a few takeaways from this session. Number one is group your measures under one place. The second one is understanding calculate function in DAX is very important. And the last one, you can also create additional columns to your data using DAX. I'm excited for the next session. And yes, we will be building the dashboard in under 30 minutes. See you there. This is it, folks. You have reached to the most rewarding part of this series. You will be creating a final usable dashboard in next 30 minutes. Most importantly, you will learn some dashboarding techniques, which is very important skill to acquire. Do you know, in this session, you will also get a deeper understanding of HR domain by knowing how these metrics matter to them. All right, let's just get started with our dashboarding.
Okay, so this is, like I said, this is where, we get a bit, it's exciting thing to do. We will create the dashboard now. Okay, so we wanted to, at the top level, we want to understand the presence percentage, and we want to understand the work from home preference for people, which is like basically the percentage of time people are working from home. Okay, so to create that, I'm going to create a new measure. I'm going to call it work from home percentage. And I'm going to say divide work from home count. So this one, we are not going to divide this with the total working days. You're going to divide this with the total present days. Because you want to know out of 10 days when a person is present, how many days that person is working from home. Like if the answer is 20%, it means out of 10 days, 2 days the person is working from home. So the reason why I'm going to, as you can learn most of the things from the syntax itself. So the reason why add 0 is an alternate result. For example, whenever there is no result, you will get 0. You will not be thrown an error. Okay. So I'm going to copy this. The easiest way in Power BI is like just copy paste the visual. Like copy this visual and you click this option, you replace this visual here. So you don't have to redo it. And I'm changing this to percentage. So what we understand from here is like, so on a given day, if you have 100 people working in your company, 15 people will be working from home. That's the insight that you can get. This is for the entire month of June.
Can we look at other months? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. May is 11%.
That's
okay. This is a pretty good insight basically, because this is real data, right? And as an AtliQ co-founder, now I'm getting insight that in June, the percentage of people working from home is higher compared to April. I'm also noticing one other thing in real time, which is this presence percentage can help us build a proper schedule for our releases for clients. Usually in the Diwali months, right, which is October, November, more people are absent. So let's say if we have these insights, then when we take up projects from client, we will say, and if they have some release schedule around that month, we can tell them that, look, we have around 70% people absent in these months. Hence, we can do our release planning properly. Correct? Now, as such, you can use common sense. Look, Diwali comes in October, November, and most of you see like 30 to 40% people, they take long, like few days of time off, right? So you can plan things according to that general knowledge, but there are some seasonal behaviors, which is, let's say if significant percentage of our population is from Patel community, they have this marriage and wedding season right from December all the way to till 15 January. And those trends can be captured in this dashboard, right? And then we can have these like hot zones where more people are absent during the time of the year. And we will do our release planning, client like software release planning according to that.
Okay, so after presence percentage, work from home percentage, you also wanted to understand if there is anything like COVID spreading. You want to understand the sick leave percentage as well. So I need to do the same thing what I did for work from home, right? I'm simply going to copy this formula. So it's all about reusing what you build and trying to, like get the best. I'm creating a new column now. Okay, instead of saying work from home, I'm going to change this to SL. And do we also have half sick leave? Correct?
Yes, half sick leave. HSL.
Okay. HSL. Perfect. So this is going to be SL count, which is sick leave count. So let's check if it is correct. Select SL, should be 1. And if I select half sick leave, it should be 0.5. Perfect.
Yes.
That's working well. And again, I'm going to come here and copy this formula. And I'm going to change this to SL count. And this is going to be SL count. So everything else is the same. And copy the formula again. Instead of work from home percentage, you create a sick leave percentage.
And just for the viewers, what Hemanand is doing right now is he's creating new measures in DAX. So DAX is a query expression language which in Power BI, and you can use these measures, which are very useful when you are building the actual visual and the dashboard.
Yeah. So for the sick leave percentage, I think you need to understand the sick leave based on the total working days, right?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Now we use the divide function here. You can use this general divide operator, but this is a safe operation if you have divide by zero situation, which is undefined operation in mathematics. So whatever, if you have divide by zero situation, it will give you a zero value, which is a third parameter in this divide function.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to copy this visual again and put the sick leave percentage and change this to percentage. Okay. Sick leave percentage is very, not really, like significant, which is good. So.
Yes. From 1.10% in the month of June.
Yeah. See, there are two ways you can look at the sick leave, right? Either you want to know out of all the leaves people take, what is the percentage of sick leave in that? Right? That is one way of looking at that. And the other way of looking at that is, out of the total working days, what is the percentage of sick leave in that? So I have done the second one now. But if you wanted to do the first one, we need to do different calculations. But since you want to understand, like the pattern of sick leave and all those things, I think this is the measure we need to use.
Yeah, this is okay.
So for someone who's learning dashboarding, I would say always keep the most important thing that you want to see in the top left, right? And because we tend to write from left to right, but there are some nations which write from right to left, so they would do the opposite. But for us, in India especially, and most countries, they write from left to right. So we keep the most important things on the top left, so that immediately draws your attention. That's where you see immediately. You naturally look there. And okay, I'm gonna reduce the value a little bit. It's category label and the callout value as well. Maybe make it 22. Okay. I think this is still fine. So now first thing, the way of building a dashboard is now you have seen the dashboard, right? You have this insight 14.2% work from home. If you want to ask why, you want to understand, who's doing work from home. Like perhaps you want to understand which day most people do work from home. So I'm going to add an underlying data now, which will help you with the why, right? And let's say that I'm going to add a table now, a simple table. And it's a table visual that you can see, select from the visualizations. And I'm going to drag the name here, so which will give you all the names. And maybe I will add all the top metrics there. So you see the same thing that you see in the top by employees now.
Okay.
And you have the work from home percentage. And you have the sick leave percentage. So by employee, you have all this metrics now. So maybe you have 100% work from home roles. So you have that, people working 100% work from home, people working 63% work from home, 46% work from home. Like half of the time they are working from home in June. And if you want to understand what's the pattern, in other months, we can do that. We're going to do that shortly. And so this insights, I'm going to keep it here. So in the top area, I would recommend to keep your, company's logo. That kind of helps you with the branding. And we can also enter the name of the dashboard. I think it's you want to call it like presence insights.
Yep.
Can you call that? So what's your favorite color, Pinali?
Yellow.
Yellow? Okay. Okay. The presence is hopefully, I think it's hopefully present. Okay.
That's my favorite color too, Pinali.
Oh, wow.
Perfect.
Yes, I love
Perfect.
yellow.
Good.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to make it like a bit minimal. So here you can see, like the presence percentage. If you just click this value, it kind of sorts from ascending to descending. And if you click again, it sorts from descending to ascending. So, and you can see here, like somebody who's present 40%, 60%. Maybe you can think about it. Like why, this can be the correct number. Maybe they have some paid leaves, or maybe they might have left the company, right? That's, I don't know, like whatever the thing that is. So you can, this will help you quickly to have the insights with the people. And so let's say a particular person, this Giovanni Pope, is percent only 66%. Now you want to have further insights, right? You want to see the attendance sheet of the person. So that's what I'm going to add in the bottom now. I'm going to add the entire attendance sheet in the bottom.
Okay.
So basically I copy the visual. And here, I'm going to change this visual to matrix, rather a table. Correct? And I will remove all these values because we want attendance sheet. I'm going to put the value in the values, which is the one that we got from the attendance. And I'm going to put the days, not the month, in the columns. So there you go. So if you want to understand more about Giovanni Pope, you click Giovanni Pope, you see the full sheet, full data. You understand, you see, the data starting from 1st of June, you understand, okay. Right. And if you want to understand about Rodrigo, you select the data, you see that, you get more insights, the granular insights. So if you had to look into each of the person on the Excel sheet, I think that's the reason why you want to create this dashboard. You want to narrow down to the areas which you want to focus more.
This is pretty interesting. Can we look at someone who is 100% absent? I want to figure out if that is because maybe they left the company. This is for June, right? Let's say they left the company on 5th June and last few days, let's say they were absent. Is it that, or is it some other reason?
Okay, so let's check this first one, right? 0% presence.
0%, sorry, yeah, not 100%, but 0% presence, yes.
Yeah, so 0% present, Ian Atkins, and so it's sick leave, work from home. What is this HLWP?
Leave without pay. When they don't have the balance.
Okay, got it. So it's right. The data, what it's showing is right. So it's there might be something that you want to analyze on this, understand on this. Maybe you already know about this. You can. Yeah, that will help you further. In case you don't know about this, then it helps you already because this came to your this came to your attention. If you know about this, that's fine. Yeah, so you can do all these things here. You can ask more whys and get to the granular level of data. But you know what you would still need a trend, right? Because here you can't click every time for a particular person and then find this thing. You need an overall trend for each of these insights, for the presence insights, work from home insights, and the sick leave percentage. Do you think that will help you? I can add this to the right.
I think this is perfectly fine for now.
Okay.
I mean, I would definitely like to see the trend because I spotted the trend by looking at individual months that, work from home is kind of going up, but that's like, I have to individually spot it. If you can, can you draw like some visual, some line chart, something that can show me the trend?
Yeah. I'm gonna create let me take a line chart, and so it's going to be really easy because we already have the metrics. So I'm going to put the sick leave. No, I think presence percentage, right? presence percentage here. Okay, first I'm going to see the table and then I will change to a visual. So presence percentage, and I want to see this by dates, correct? Every day or month? I think days will be better.
Yeah.
Days will give me a better trend. So I've got this as a table now. So I can easily change this to any chart I want. For example, I want to change this to, like column chart or maybe area chart. And you see, the reason why we get this more like a sine wave is because, why is that? Okay, it's 6th
Weekends.
June. Yeah, it's weekends. Okay, correct. Yeah, it's after every 5 entries we get it. Yeah, it's a weekend. So what we can do is that there is a very easy option to do this. I can go to the value here and I can apply the filter on all the pages and I can remove the weekends. I think the weekends are denominated or mentioned by week. I'll take this out. So you see now the curve is better.
Yep, this is much better. Yeah.
Yeah. And I would also like to add a trend line here. So you understand the overall trend. So I'm just wondering why there is a big drop here, 50% presence. That doesn't look correct to me. 27 June, 24 June.
27 June, okay. Was there some event or something?
I think there's something wrong because we have, today is 26 June and we have data until 30th June. That's not correct. Let me check the Excel file once, until which date we have the data. Because I think I received the Pinali's email like 3 or 4 days ago. Okay.
Oh, so the sheet is still 30 June, but there are blank cells.
There is no data. Okay. So there are blank cells. So what we can do with this situation is that, so we can apply a filter. Ideally, you can apply a filter here saying that your date should be either today or tomorrow, because we are going to update this sheet on a daily basis, right? So you can do that. Like you can go here and say advanced filtering, relative date. And you say is in the last, let's say 365 days. Which also includes today. So it won't take all the future dates. That's the filter you need to apply. But since we know that we have the data only until 19th of June, I'm gonna use a like a hard filter just for this case, just for the analysis case. But we need to change this. So I'm gonna say it's on or before 19/06/2022, or I will just use a date picker. It's better.
This is so amazing. I did not know Power BI has all these capabilities. Usually you will use the last 365 days if your data is up to date.
Yeah.
It's pretty
just
powerful.
To double check. Okay. I have data until 17th of June. Okay. I'm going to say 17th of June. Okay. It's much better. Okay, so I think adding a trend line would help, so you understand the trend better. And I'm not really caring. I'm not really concerned about the y-axis. Because I don't want to display I don't think it makes, I think you just want to understand the trend, right? With these pointers.
Can you unselect June 22? Can we see like monthly? I want to see a trend for last 3 months.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
We can see that the presence is slightly declining.
Slightly. There might be some seasonality. Yeah. Yes, some event, like some seasonality to it.
Yes.
I don't know. We need to figure out.
Yeah. So this is presence by date. So now, for me, it's going to be very easy to duplicate the rest of the stuff. to create the rest of the stuff, I mean. So I'm gonna copy paste this and change this to work from home percentage. It's kind of increasing trend. And just to make a differentiation, I'm thinking to change the color. So in order to activate this box, like if you just look at there, you won't find the box. So in order to activate the box, you need to select a visual and then see, then you have the settings and all the stuff. So under colors, you can change this. I don't know.
Pinali, yeah, if you have a question, you can unmute, and remaining time you can stay muted, because I was hearing some audio disturbances. So yeah, if you want to speak, you can unmute.
Okay. So, and the last one should be the SL percentage. I think we almost got our dashboard ready.
So, this is so nice. I like this whole copy paste thing. Like, it takes time to build some initial visuals, but after that, it's just pretty much copy paste.
Yeah, I love the dashboarding part, because it's the time, it's where you get the things completed really fast, and the most amount of time is spent in data cleaning, as you know, and dashboarding is really cool.
Yeah,
it looks really good.
Yeah, Pinali must be happy seeing some charts and visuals rather than looking at those big Excel files with numbers, right?
Right.
Yes. I really agree that. Okay.
So see, I already spot some insight that as June month is approaching, starting from April, presence percentage is declining. Percentage people working from home is increasing, right? Sick leaves are kind of a little bit increasing. Maybe it's the summer months, it's a very hot summer months because of that.
Yes.
So now if we have some software releases for our clients around June, now we can, plan those things better. That our capacity is kind of lower compared to other months during this June month. So we do our release planning accordingly.
Yes, that's true. Okay. And so you see that the trends increasing and decreasing. That's really cool. And maybe we can add more, insights to this. And I'm thinking one more quick insight, which I think we also discussed, is that, do you wish to see the numbers here? Like, I can add the data labels. Does it add any value? I think so, right? If you know the numbers, I think that kind of provides you a context.
Especially when you go to, what I like to do is I like to go in a focus mode. So can you go in a focus mode for one of the charts? There is especially very useful. See, now you have a big visual with all the numbers.
You see, there's a huge spike here on the work from home. I think probably, you can understand it better. One thing that we can do now that will really help you, I believe, is that to understand which days people work from home the most, which days people are present most, are absent most, which day of the week, right? So for that, I'm going to add the day of the week here. And this can be done very quickly. So I'm going to add day of week. I think what we need is just change the format of the day that we already have. So we have the day, and I'm going to change the format to, this will provide me the day in three-letter format. Yeah, you can see that I have the Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday stuff now. And if I put the day of the week here, and I can add like presence percentage. Can you make a guess which is going to be the day where people are present the most?
Monday, I think. Monday or Tuesday. Tuesday, I think.
Yes. You're correct. People are present the most in Monday.
Yeah, because they're going out or taking vacation. They'll take like Thursday, Friday, sometimes Monday also, and they just combine it with the weekend.
Yeah, people are present the most in Monday. And let's say which day people take work from home the most. I think the answer is something we already know. It's going to be Friday, I believe. But just to understand the percentages, it helps. Yeah. Thursday and Friday, people take most work from homes. Like if you have 100 people working on a particular day, you can expect that 15 people are not there on a given Friday. That's an insight.
So if you are arranging any team building activity, team lunch, etc., maybe we can do it on Monday where most of the people are present.
Yes.
That's a very good insight.
Yeah, and I think this is irrelevant to the day, but still, just to keep the harmony in our dashboarding. Yeah, it's Monday. Okay, I think it's pretty much the same. Doesn't make sense, to check it by the days. Okay, so I think this is almost. This is almost good as a dashboard. I know this is not really looking beautiful. I can make some beautification. You don't have to, I can make some beautification changes and send it to you. But as a skeleton, as a layer, do you have anything more to add here?
No, I think we have covered everything here.
Okay. Everything you need at the moment. But I think after you start using it, you might have more requirements. It's not the case.
So maybe Pinali, you can start using it, and then we can think about enhancements or improvements for the next phase. As you start using it, maybe you'll have more questions, and some of the questions will not be answered by the visuals that we have. That was indeed a rewarding session. Here are the key takeaways from that session. Number 1, where to place your most important insights in the dashboard. Number 2, good insight reports should enable the stakeholders to ask more whys. Number 3, copy paste visuals and alter them to boost your productivity. Usually this product is called MVP or minimum viable product, which the stakeholder will use and provide more feedback so that you can build next version of the dashboard. Let's see how our analyst captures the wish list from stakeholders for further builds in the final session of this series. We have created the dashboard, but our stakeholders want more. They have a real-time business needs such as sending alerts, automatic data refresh, setting security levels for data. You will also understand how a data analyst scopes the requirement for future builds from this session.
Okay, so now we got the dashboard. Do you have any questions?
Yes.
Do you have anything to check?
I have one. Can I get any notification over my email ID, just like it triggers? Let's say if the attendance is less than 80% or 75%, because actually I'm very busy on weekdays, right? I don't have time to see dashboard each and every time. So
totally understand.
It would be easier for me to understand the percentage.
Yeah, totally understand. What you can do is the next step is we will publish this dashboard to the cloud. Okay. So once we publish the dashboard, you get an option there to create this is in the Power BI lingo, this is called a report. So once you publish this report online, you can create certain dashboard from the visuals. So you can create a visual. This visual you can add to a pin to a dashboard, and from there you can create an alert. So if the presence percentage is less than 70, send an email to Pinali, to your email address and to a couple of other people. So that email will say, hey, the presence percentage is less than 70. Here are the list of people who are present today, and all the, it will send the Excel sheet along with you. This particular table along with that. So we can do that. It's possible.
That's great.
That's really interesting, because even I would like to get that kind of notification.
Yes.
And for the viewers, we have covered publishing reports to Power BI, setting up notification, all of this in our paid course on codebasics.io. The course name is Get Job Ready Power BI Data Analytics. So in that course, we have covered all of these advanced concepts, the link of the course you'll find in the video description below. So check it out, or just simply visit codebasics.io. All right. Now moving on to our actual discussion. So I know I'm kind of I'm playing two different roles, the instructor for Codebasics channel and AtliQ's founder and manager. So one question I have is, right now we uploaded one fixed file, okay, but file will keep on uploading. So I don't think it's going to be very cumbersome for AtliQ HR person to give you this file every day. Can we have some kind of automatic setup? Maybe we put file somewhere on cloud and just...
Definitely. That is definitely the point. So either, Power BI offers integration to many things. So what I did is right now is just to import the Excel book directly, just to show how it is done. But ideally, it can be put in a SharePoint folder, a common drive. And I think if this is a Google Sheet, there is also an option to directly connect to a Google Sheet. I think, yes, you can also connect to a Google Sheet directly. So if the Google Sheet is updated, this will get updated. There are a lot of ways to do that. And normally what I would prefer is to put it in a SharePoint folder and it is connected to the SharePoint, and the data gets updated every 1 hour or every half an hour or something like that. We can set up things like that. And no one needs to, update the Excel sheet or, do something. So once you create this and it's completely automated, that's the solution.
All right. Next question I have. This is pretty useful, by the way. So yeah, using SharePoint is a good idea. Next question I have is, I want to make this dashboard available to people in my organization. Obviously, manager level people will have access of full dashboard, but employees, so that they can see the trend, etc., they need to have access of only the charts, because I don't want employees to look, check the presence percentage and all of that for other employees. It's not very healthy work environment.
Yes.
So can we have that visual level privileging?
Yes, there is an option in Power BI that's called role level security and even object level security. There is an option there in Power BI. We can do that. There is a better option in terms of, because if you create this dashboard and if people are saying blank space here, it doesn't look correct. It looks patchy.
Right.
What I would recommend is publish this dashboard for the management level people and give access to them. So once you publish this dashboard on the cloud, this creates a data set underneath. So this dashboard or report sits on a data set. So we can use the same data set on the cloud to create another dashboard with just the trend, not the underlying data. So that I think is a better idea. So there will be two different reports, but both will be using the same data source, same data set. Everything is same. It's not like there are two separate entities. They are the same entity, but two different interfaces.
Got it. So you have presence view right now, right? So you can create presence view for all, and all we have to do is just copy paste visuals. So it is as good as that. Very good.
Yeah.
All right. I have one more question. I got pretty excited, by the way, after looking at this dashboard. So the next question I have is, I'm looking at that chart, and most of the people, they prefer working from home on Friday. So Pinali, maybe in the future, when we go in this hybrid work model, we can have Friday as work from home for all, right? And if people are working from home on that day, then if you have some scheduled maintenance, some electricity work, or some infrastructure repair, we can schedule that kind of work on Friday. Usually we do Saturday, Sunday also, but then that can be good utilization of resources. Other thing we can do is, if you decide to go in hybrid work from home model where people are working only 3 days, they're working from home on 2 days, maybe we can ask people to take turns, so that, let's say the capacity of our office, let's say, is 80 people and we have 100 employees. Maybe we can ask them to take turn on a day, so that we don't have to rent space for 20 additional people. We can have people take turn and create a system where people come on alternate days and we can save on the rental cost.
Yes.
All right. Great. Those are the only points I had. Thanks, Hemanan, for helping us build this live. And We are going to provide a link of this dashboard, the data, everything in the video description below. So folks, go check it out. If you have any question, post in a comment box below.
Perfect. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ramanand.
So how do you feel? If you are HR manager yourself, you probably found this useful because this was from your domain. But even if you are not from HR, you still found a project that you can use to learn data analytics. And this is something you can put on your resume as well. Now, I have a good news to share. Just like Pinali, you can also come on this show and we will help you build live data analytics dashboard. You can be from any domain. You can be chartered accountant, you can be a salesperson, a warehouse manager, any domain. Wherever there is data analytics. So all you have to do is check video description below. There is an email ID. Send us an email and mention your use case. What kind of data set you have, what kind of business problem you're facing, what is your domain, and we will invite you on this channel. So that way you will learn data analytics live with us, and also you will get an opportunity to present yourself on this YouTube platform. I hope you found this series useful, and I will see you in the next data analytics series.